I was thinking that I was going to write something on it, and then I realized that it would look just like the scarf.
And with its custom Portland Timbers paint scheme,
So I put "No Pity" across the back.
you can't miss Paul Regan and his 1981 Chevy Camaro.
It was easy to spot. I'm sure people who have just a Honda or a Subaru, it's much harder to.
Which came in handy in May when someone stole Regan's favorite ride.
The people in the dog park were like, why is Paul driving so insane? Like going over the speed bumps and bottoming out and sparks flying up. They're like, what's he doing?
He reported it to police,
I secretly harbored, that I would get it back.
who offered some advice.
Put it on Nextdoor and talk to PDX Stolen Cars.
PDX Stolen Cars, a group run in part by repair shop owner Nick Haas
I gotta hand it to the power of social media.
and founder Titan Crawford.
I'm glad you had the police report so I could tell it was stolen.
Together on a mission to bring cars snatched by crooks back to their rightful owners.
I had found a stolen car in my neighborhood. I knew it was stolen. I contacted the police and they said, there's not a whole lot we can do right now. So I was like, well, see if I can do something.
Starting small last fall and quickly taking off, with now 10,000 passionate Portlanders making up the Facebook group.
I'm going, where are all these people coming from? And realize there's a huge problem of theft of property in Portland.
According to Portland police, some 3,300 vehicles were reported stolen in the first 7 months of 2020. In 2021, that jumped to over 4,100. This year, it spiked with a whopping 6,312 stolen cars reported from January 1st through July.
It's just a shame that, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention.
Between police reports, VINs, and vehicle descriptions, group members crowdsource and cross-reference to help track down hundreds of cars. Sometimes the clues lead to dead ends, but not this time.
She sent me a picture from this man's drone that obviously was the No Pity Camaro.
Paul's pride and joy spotted from above at the dusty end of North Midway Avenue in St. John's, in the middle of a wooded area and on private property. It's widely understood by those who live nearby, like Randy Reed. It's part chop shop, part homeless camp, and either way, he says, notorious.
Another friend of mine's car got stolen about a month ago and came down here and it was right here in the spot.
With the hum of metal on metal through the trees,
There's like a dozen, maybe 14, 15 cars back there right now that are partially stripped, some partially not. There's a bunch of people back in there.
It's a little out of control.
neighbors say it's scary.
I don't know what the deal is, because this seems like more than just a camp.
With drug dealing, fires, people armed with weapons, they say, on top of all those cars. Though it seems Portland police are aware. In this Instagram video posted last month, it appears an officer drives a stolen Ford F-250 off the property. And according to PPB, 3 people were detained following this recovery. But the PDX stolen car guys say law enforcement isn't doing nearly enough to address the persistent problems.
And they're still pulling cars in to this day, every day, right now, and stripping them.
And it's why they're stepping in.
I dive into it. I get on my laptop. I tell everybody I know that's good at this, we need to figure out who this owner is. I make a few phone calls, I pull a few strings, we get lucky.
With luck on their side when a group member shared that drone photo, the final clue to recovering Paul's Camaro.
Here we are in a chop shop, North Portland.
A month after it went missing, covered in dirt, but mostly intact.
We had to winch it out, which was a whole thing too, and then drove it out.
After this search and rescue, Paul's more careful about where he parks, grateful for a group of people like Titan and Nick that didn't give up, who, with the will and the drive, finally found the No Pity Camaro.
Thank gosh they're doing what they're doing. And it seems like such a great way because it's just rampant right now.
And all of that raises the question of whether police could and should shut down what neighbors call much more than a chop shop. It's clear from that Instagram video you saw they are aware. And while PPB provided some context about stolen cars in general, When it comes to that particular property in St. John's, it was radio silence.
So Alma, what about the owners of that lot? I mean, you managed to track them down too.
And that is where it gets even more interesting, David. They've had it since the 1980s, and over the past years have spent tens of thousands of dollars of their own money, they say, trying to clear, clean, and secure it. These big blocks of concrete here, they shelled out about 10 grand earlier this year to block off access, only for people running this operation, if we can call it that, to drive through the bushes instead. So the owners tell me they've reached out to police, they've reached out to the city, and one of the responses they say they got, their lawyer called pretty much mind-boggling. We're working on a follow-up story because right now they say there's a lack of action and no easy solution.
Yeah, to a crisis that's about much more than cars that has been years in the making. I am shaking my head here. Alma, really appreciate your reporting tonight.